So if you're planning on upgrading from your current BTO, this is a question I believe you should have already been asking yourself, which is, should I sell my BTO first or should I buy my next home first? So in my best professional opinion, it is always better to be buying your next home first. Why? Because it's for a peace of mind, and this is what's going to happen, because ideally you're going to want to be looking around and secure your next house first, and when that happens, the viewing process alone may take more than 1 month. That's if you're efficient, okay? Then the legal process of the buying timeline is going to take around 3 months. Then what if the seller of the house you're buying needs an extension of stay or is asking for you to rent back the property to them for the next 3 to 4 months because they too are in a sell-buy process, and just like you, maybe they also don't have an interim place to stay. So after you collect the keys from the seller, that's another 2 to 3 months of home renovations. Now, in between, if you have already sold your place, or in fact, even before you start the whole process, you've already sold your place, where are you going to be staying in between? That's a total of around 9 months, possibly. If you don't control your timeline properly, that's going to be a very long waiting process. So you'd want to be staying in your own place first while you wait for your next house to be ready. So if you can sense that there's a plot twist coming along, yeah, there is. I myself, I did not heed my own advice because in fact, like many of my own clients, they are like me, unable to buy first, sell later. Why? Let me share you my own experience when I sold and bought my house last year. Now, to get the keys to my next house, I need to be able to complete the purchase. I need to be able to pay the seller first. The house I bought, 1.4 mil. Yeah, not much, but to be honest, I don't have 1.4 million in the bank, man. Right, so you can take a loan, but still, it's still limited to only 75% of the purchase price. You need to put in a 25% down payment no matter what. Now, for this house, it's around 350,000, and then there's another stamp duty cost, which is around 40,000 paying to the taxman. So that's close to 400,000 that's required. Maybe some of you have 400,000 lying around, but I don't have it lying around in my bank account. I don't have it under my pillow. I didn't have that money anywhere, but I had it in my existing house, all right? So the only way to get the money out of that house was either one, sell my house, okay, or number two, which is to gear up, all right? That means I take a term loan on the profits of the house, but there's some complications there because banks won't allow me to use this loan to finance another property purchase because that's circumventing the rules for a house down payment. MAS wants you to save for it, not to take a loan on the down payment, right? So if you don't believe me, just check with the banks. You can try to refinance your property, cash out the profits, but if the banks ask you what's the purpose and you honestly tell them it's to buy another house, they will reject you. Let's talk about the legitimate strategies to manage our finances during this transitional period. So no choice, I had to sell first, then buy. Many of the homeowners like me that I've met so far require the funds from the sales of their flat to complete the purchase. So the ideal situation is one thing, but the reality is another thing. So of course, an experienced agent that you engage, me, my team, would be able to help you solve this conundrum of whether you should be selling first or can you buy first without having to move out temporarily. On a side note, the clients that I've helped to purchase first before selling, I noticed they tend to be in their 40s or earliest, maybe late 30s because it does take time to grow our savings to buy a second home first. All right, especially when you have to juggle house expense, children expense, our own holiday expense. So while the ideal situation may be to buy first, all right, but the reality is, especially for many young homeowners, all right, that selling first is often necessary. Okay, so don't worry, with the right guidance, all right, you can navigate this process smoothly. Visit us at HeroHomes.sg, drop us a text. We'll give you a personalized advice on your property upgrading plans. That's it for today. See you guys in the next video.